Hello and welcome to the month of Aquarius. The Sun passes through the sign of Aquarius from around the 20th, 21st of January to the 18th or 19th of February. Aquarius is old air. We're dealing with the winter air sign now, so Gemini is summer air, Libra is autumn air, and Aquarius is the old, wise, winter knowing. I know is the phrase for Aquarius. So it's wisdom, it's the knowledge applied in the oldest of the air signs which rule the mind. So Aquarius is the sovereign king, the responsible one, the one that can see the way forwards to the spring and a new lease of life coming in, but has the wisdom of everything that's gone before. Aquarius has zigzags as its symbol, and this was once upon a time seen as a water bearer. It's the star card in tarot, the one that's pouring the healing liquid onto the earth and keeping that recycling, regenerative energy flowing. Later on, these zigzags became symbolic of electricity, and for me the neural pathways that jump across the brain, which is hinting at Aquarians' ability to think differently and to come up with genius solutions to past problems. So the electricity of the zigzags, but also the electricity inside of the body, were very much the sign for Aquarius. But now I feel it's moved on even more, and we're dealing with the electromagnetic quantum forces of the universe itself. Our heart is a giant transmitter receiver, and each emotion has its own frequency. So Aquarius is wise enough to know that what we're transmitting is what we'll receive, and that if we're responsible for ourselves and stand in our individuality, which is a major aspect of Aquarius, then we can change the world one by one. Aquarius opposite Leo. Leo has the lion heart and Aquarius has the wisdom. You combine those two together and you're transmitting and receiving from a warm and wise heart space and creating the world around you. In the middle of the month of Aquarius, we have the Celtic celebration of Imbolc. This is around the 2nd to the 6th of February, the middle degree, and it was a sign of the spark of life returning to the northern climes. So the sun, reborn at the solstice, actually started to show us its power and its life force energy. Snowdrops pushing through the cold winter ground and the ice melting were two symbols of the quickening. The fox is also reminiscent of this time, as he was revered for his kenning, his knowing. When he refused to cross the ice, none of the other animals would. Swans are also important to the Aquarian graceful archetype, and swans mate for life in February, and they touch beaks and make a big heart shape with their heads and their necks, and it's a symbol of unconditional love and purity and beauty that goes so well with this sign. It's interesting to note that the constellation of Aquarius falls right next to Vulpecula the fox and Cygnus the swan, so these are even etched into the sky itself. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus actually spins in a different direction to the other planets, having said to have been knocked off its axis in an early cataclysm in our solar system. So with rings like Saturn, instead of going horizontally around like a belt, Uranus lies on his back and the rings go almost north to south. And this adds to the eccentricity and the rebelliousness that's given to this sign, just doing things differently, not following the group. We've spoken about the star card in tarot, but also I feel that Uranus rules the Fool card, which is the one that's so wise that he's going round again, totally in connection with the inner child, but not innocent, very wise, but fresh and ready for a whole new cycle. And this is very relevant to the age of Aquarius, because we're coming back into our powers, and life, indeed evolution, is more of an expanding spiral than a linear aspect. So we're coming back into our powers, we're going round again like the Fool card, tooled up, freshened up and ready to start a whole new cycle. The new moon in Aquarius always begins the Chinese New Year, so every year we see a shift in element and animal at this time, which is very appropriate because it brings in that theme of change. It makes that quickening even more noticeable as we shift into gear and we take on the new energies of those elements and signs. For me, the new moon in Aquarius is like a new start to the year. It's very fresh, think different, make plans for the future, know thyself and step forward with responsibility after we've done all the hard work in Capricorn. My crystals for Aquarius are chrysocolla and amethyst. Amethyst is a great healer. It's really like the lavender oil of the crystal world. You can pretty much use it for anything. But also with that deep purple, it's the sovereignty, it's the responsibility, and it's the knowing. And the ultimate blend of red, which is fire, and blue, which is water, the masculine, the feminine, the electro, the magnetic. Chrysocolla is actually a beautiful blue and aqua and green stone, and these are great colours for Aquarius, with its links both with water but also with the ether. And I find it a very calming and wise and meditative stone to work with at this time. My herb for Aquarius is grapefruit because it's a little bit different. It's got that spark, it's got the solar aspect of the citrus, but it's also got that tang, that slightly different. I'm not going to be too familiar, I'm going to be a bit quirky energy, and it's very uplifting. It's good for the heart centre and the crown. And it's an uplifting and motivating and opening and optimistic oil. During the month of Aquarius we also have the Leo full moon, so we've spoken about the sovereignty of the Leo, the heart centre, the radiance, the confidence and the warmth. So when the full moon comes, it's a really good chance to actually shine our light from the inside, to rejuvenate that heart centre, to make sure that our wavelengths are getting as far as possible because our vessel is as clean and pure as possible. So it's always a time of great celebration, simplicity, and getting to know that wise inner child and to actually shine your light forwards into the spring. My crystals for Leo are sunstone and gold. Sunstone is quite obvious, just like moonstone is good for Cancer, as Cancer is ruled by the moon. Then sunstone is very good for Leo. It's got that warmth and that genuine, again, solar plexus, heart centre, confidence and radiance that goes with it. My oil for Leo is orange, which is more warm and friendly than the grapefruit, but still very much linked. And again, you'll be dealing with those centres, energy centres of the body, the solar plexus and the heart centre, to shine out and to create. So those are my herbs and crystals for Aquarius and Leo as we go through the beautiful month of Aquarius with all its sacred celebrations, purification rites, and getting ready to shine as brightly as we can into a whole new future. So those are the energies for the month of Aquarius, and I'll see you next month.